I hate it when I see a posting that says that a job is remote, but it ends up being actually not remote. I am Andrea Valeria, and around here we're going to be talking about all things remote with a sprinkle of lifestyle and travel and a big side of personal growth. Work from home is not the same as remote, and hybrid is also not the same. But what is the difference? We're going to be talking exactly about all those nuances in remote work, and since we're going to be talking about remote work and working specifically from home, I'm going to give you a little tour of my new home office. But that's gonna be later. If you already started searching for remote jobs, you might have already come across a job description that says the job is remote, but it's not clear and it's actually not remote. By the way, if you are a job recruiter or employer, please make your job postings as clear as possible so people don't apply to something that ends up being something else and they are wasting their time, okay? Thanks in advance. So there are different types of remote jobs. Some incorporate remote work elements, but that does not mean that they are fully remote. So what's the difference? Of course, there are the traditional jobs. You go to an office, you get paid. We all know about those. Those clearly are not remote. When I first started working remotely back in 2015, I had this setup in which I went to the office a few days a week and I worked from home a few days a week. That kind of setup is called hybrid, and if you have to go to the office and it's mandatory, it's not optional, it is hybrid, okay? For these types of remote jobs that are hybrid, they might require you to live like max 1 hour away from the office. If that is the case, then you know you are dealing with a hybrid situation, because if it were fully remote, they would not care where you live. You could live 700 miles away and it would be okay. Hybrid can also mean another thing. It can mean that the company has an office and some employees work out of the office, and then there are also remote workers. So half the company is remote, half the company works in the office. This is also a hybrid setup. So here's a problem that I personally see with this type of setup, and it is that there are going to be employees in the office, right? A lot of the decisions that are made, like the meeting times, for example, might be made based out of what the people in the office want, and they might not prioritize the remote employers as much. So whenever you see this, you go into that company as a remote worker, you might have to be a little bit flexible and know that you might not have as many perks, like as much flexibility. Does that make sense? Now, some of you might love hybrid. Fully remote work is not for everyone. Some people like going into an office. They might like the company pizza parties, meet up in the lunchroom and have lunch together with your work bestie. So if you are the kind of person that loves that kind of interaction with your coworkers, hybrid might be a good option for you, because you would go to the office and have that, and then you would also have some of the flexibility of remote work. Personally, I'm not into it. I want to be working from home in my pajamas. So, I mean, it's up to you and your personality and your preferences. But back to hybrid jobs. If you are part of a hybrid company and you are part of the remote worker side, you are still going to get a lot of perks related to, remote work. But just know that in a random day, you might be called up to come into the office. So just know what to expect. And one more thing about this, if you do come into a company that's hybrid and you are offered a job as a remote worker, make sure that your contract specifies that you are going to be remote. Otherwise, they might change it up on you and then boom, you don't have a remote job anymore. It's hybrid or in office, or just make sure your contract says it. Now there are also work from home jobs. Those are different because whenever they hire you, they are going to expect you to be working from your home, okay? So you're not going to be able to travel, you're not going to be able to pack up and go to Costa Rica and work from there for a week, because your boss might call you and might be like, where are you at? And if you tell them that you're in Costa Rica, they might be like, no, señorita, that's not what we agreed, and maybe you lose your job. So make sure that you know that if your job is work from home, you have to be at home. you come into a work from home job, just know that you might get a lot of perks like, you know, the flexible schedules or no commute or being able to hang out with your family or your cat or working in your pajamas and all that. But just know that it's not going to be as flexible as a fully remote job. By the way, I'm not saying that remote jobs are bad. No, they're great. It all depends on what you're looking for. Like maybe let's say that you are someone who wants to be a stay-at-home mom and work from home and make money while you're taking care of your kids. Then work from home is perfect for you. Maybe you have a disability and you just need to be able to work from home to make money from home and not have to go to an office every day. Maybe you're like someone's primary caretaker, so you have to be home. So it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for traveling and being a digital nomad, then yes, no, that work from home might not fit your particular needs. Here are two more terms that you should also be familiar with. One is remote okay, the other one is remote optional. Those two are usually going to mean that the company is hybrid. You know, they're not like fully remote if it's remote okay or remote friendly or remote optional. I said two, I meant three. Remote okay, remote friendly, and remote optional. By the way, when you're done watching this video, if you're interested in the like working while traveling aspect of it all, and if you want to know about being a digital nomad, I talked about that in my last video, so go ahead and watch that if you're interested in that. But now let's talk about the types of remote job most people want. Most people want a fully remote job that allows them to work from anywhere, work while traveling, you know, do whatever they want and have all the flexibility. Now here are a few keywords that you need to pay attention to that will let you know that a job is fully remote, okay? Let's do it. Work from anywhere, that's one. Hiring worldwide, work while traveling, 100% remote. Global. I'm probably missing some. Let me see. Fully remote, 100% remote. Those are the keywords that you should know if you want a fully remote job. You need to make sure that the job description of the job you're applying to says those things, right? Otherwise, you might be stuck with a hybrid job or with a work from home job, right? So if you want to work while traveling, if you want to move abroad, or if you are not a US citizen, then you might have to look at these keywords and focus on applying to remote jobs that only say those things. By the way, there are tons of companies right now that are fully remote. They are offering the competitive salaries, all like the mandatory benefits of your country. They're also offering cool perks like unlimited vacations and flexible schedules. So just know that there are a lot of options right now out there for you. And of course, remote jobs at these kinds of companies might be a little bit competitive because everyone wants these jobs. So you need to make sure that when you apply for one of these jobs that you are bringing your A game and you're not making common mistakes that are going to get your resume tossed in the trash can. So if you are not sure what to do and how to get your remote job search started, actually stand out and actually get like callbacks for interviews, I have something for you. I have a course that's called Land Your First Remote Job, and I specialize in teaching you from A to Z everything in the remote job search process so that you can actually achieve your goal of working remotely. I will leave the link in the description so that you can check out a free video training that I have, and that would be like the perfect place for you to start. Okay, so now you know the difference between work from home, fully remote, hybrid, and depending on your specific needs and the kind of lifestyle that you want, you might choose which direction you want to go in and what jobs you want to apply for. Let me know in the comments which one you think is best for you and which one you'd like to land, because I'm curious to see who is team what. I'm personally team fully remote, of course, you knew that. Now, speaking about working from home, I have been working remotely since 2015, and usually I've been working from a random vacation rental, someone's house, some apartment I rented somewhere. I would work in couches or in bed or in whatever desk they had. But I always kept dreaming of having my own office one day. Like, it was literally one of my goals. And this year I achieved that. I'm so excited because now I have a home office. Do you want me to show you? Well, this is part of I'm in the home office right now, okay? But do you want me to give you the full tour? Like the full tour? Let's do it. This is the desk. This is where the magic happens. I wanted a clear desk because, well, actually my interior designer suggested it, but I was like, I like it because since there's a lot of windows here, it's just like it flows. Some stickers and pens that I don't use that often, but they're here. Since I was little, I've been obsessed with gumball machines, and I wanted a little gumball machine, of course, because this office is basically like all my childhood fantasies in one office. So adulting meets childhood, I don't know. And I was really excited about it, but I bought the gumballs too big, so it's not working. But I'll buy new gumballs later. This is one of my favorite spots of the office. It's colorful and it's branded, of course. We're gonna have It's a Travelogy all over. This little sofa couch situation is a sofa bed. If you're too big and you want to be a guest at my home, sorry, you won't fit because it's a tiny sofa, but it's a sofa bed. And then these shelves, I love them because it's kind of like a collection of some of my favorite things and then some random things that I found like at vintage shops. Like this one, I was at a vintage shop and then I put it on and the first thing I saw was a photo of the Panama Canal, and I'm from Panama, so I was like, yep, you're coming home with me. The cameras that I have are just like a little tribute to my love of content creation. That's why I have 2 cameras. I love Audrey Hepburn. This right here, my first love, Coca-Cola. Of course, I had to have some sort of tribute to Coca-Cola because I love it. See, these little Lego things are storage because you know I love things that don't look like storage but are storage, like I said in my previous video. And then, of course, my 2 books that I wrote and published are up there, showcased for the world to see because I'm very proud of my books. I want to write a new one and it's going to be up there too, and it's going to be red. That way it's going to be yellow, red, and blue, just like the candles. Last Halloween, I was a pink Power Ranger because I am the pink Power Ranger. I love the pink Power Ranger. So I have 2 pink Power Rangers over there. Insert photo of my Halloween costume here because it was awesome, right? And I love Hello Kitty too. So there she is. I always envisioned my first office as being a really fun place that inspired me to be creative. So no, it could not be boring and bland. It had to be colorful and fabulous. That's why I have this wall here. It has a lot of my favorite things, like this peace sign. I love smiley faces, like I'm obsessed with them, and I really like color. And my living room, if you saw that in the last video, was very different, very neutrals and beige and white. But the office, I was like, it's going down. I want color. So I actually hired a muralist. She is Mexican, so yes, local talent. Her name is Georgina Gutierrez. She created this beautiful design and she came and painted it. This was the first thing that I did in this apartment. Literally, the first thing that was done was to have this mural painted. So yeah, this is her Instagram, Pintando por ahí. Shout out to her, she's awesome. So that's it, that was my little home office. I am really excited about it because 5 years I did not have a home office and I dreamed about it, and now I do have one, so yay. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to hit subscribe if you want to make sure that you don't miss a single video. There's gonna be a new video every Thursday. So gracias for hanging out with me. Ciao.